All right, everybody. I've got another very special guest for y'all. Returning guest, Mr. Jonathan Hedrick. Welcome back, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me back.
So, dude, I'm preparing for this interview and I'm looking up everything I got going on, and it feels like a Colin Bunn interview, man. Like we got so much to talk about. So
Good. Well, that's good company to be in.
So we won't waste too much time. Let's start talking about some of the. You got so much going on right now, and
Yeah.
I'll start. You're in a couple of anthologies. Night and Day. What is this one all about?
So that is a non-comic book project. That's a poetry and a short story anthology. It's actually two separate anthologies in one. So I'm in one of those anthologies. I believe it's entitled The Warm Blooded Night, which is where the night comes into play in the title of that campaign page. And I contributed a poem that I wrote 12, maybe 15 years ago, and submitted it around back then. No one wanted anything to do with it. And then I know Dave Greschel, who is the project creator of these anthologies, and he's local to me in Brevard County, Florida. I've known him for several years. He great wordsmith. I mean, really talented guy. His poetry is awesome. I mean, I'm jealous of his, vocabulary. It's astounding. He's done a lot of the poems that were in Orange Cone's Cthulhu Invades anthologies. So if anyone's checked those out and have seen the poems that are like broken up in between the stories, you might be familiar with his work. He also did a poem for my book Freak Show Night that was published in the back of it. So when he put a call out for submissions, I was like, I'll dust off that old poem and see if Dave will throw me a bone, and if it's not too terrible. I was like really nervous about submitting. I'm like, oh, what if he thinks this poem sucks? It's not my wheelhouse at all. But I always tell myself, I tell other people, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want any type of growth at all. And it's not like that's like a new medium I'm trying to pursue or anything like that. It was just, dipping my toes into something else, expanding my horizons, my audience, helping Dave out, helping all the other creators that have contributed to it. So I think it's something unique. And if any comic book readers out here that are, want to broaden their horizons, please check it out. It's super underrated. You're going to get, exposed to something that, you might not normally, have brought in, opened your mind to. So, and you'll be helping out a lot of other, indie creators with this project.
Is this something you play around with still, or was it kind of something at a younger age you?
Mostly at a younger age, I would say. The comic book scripts and format has really taken over my writing, 100%. So I feel if I do any type of writing outside of comic books, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Even when it comes to just making a post, doing my newsletter, I'm like, if I'm at a keyboard, I need to be writing a script. But it was mostly something I dabbled with. I think that's short form poetry, short stories is where I got my, feet wet. And, I learned to swim that way towards comic book writing, because my first comic book, Freak Show Princess, was a short story first. And then I deconstructed that into when I was teaching myself how to write the comic book script format, and then everything followed suit after that. So yeah, nothing I dabble with anymore. Something I would love to if I had, the time, or, I mean, I say the time, I'm sure I could find it if I, buckle down on some more disciplined, but I feel like I'm already disciplined enough to meet the goals that I already have. Why put more on my plate?
Do you have? I have this thing where my discipline almost goes too far. Where if
Yes.
I even like sit down and try to relax and like watch a TV show, I feel like I'm cheating.
Yes. 100%. It's so hard sometimes just to enjoy, to turn it off. You know, what I've learned to do is if I feel like I need to, if I'm starting to watch a movie or a TV show or to step away and I can't focus, I just need to go back to do that task anyways. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to enjoy that thing. I'm going to be delaying doing that task, so I might as well just do it anyways. And eventually, my body, my mind will tell me, okay, now it's time to. You'll feel my anxiety gives me a break every now and then.
I have this constant Rolodex of like tasks that need to get done. Like, I need to catch up on read my comics. I got to read these for this thing. I got the Substack post. Oh my God, it's Thursday night and Hedrick's interview needs to go up Friday. I need to get that done and posted. And
Right.
it's a never ending cycle in my brain. So
yep, I feel the pain, man.
Well, that's cool. That's something different. And
yeah,
I like that. And I see another name I recognize on there with Frank Martin. So you're in
Frank Martin.
Good company there.
Yep. Frank's a good guy. Peter Rosette is on there. He's done a lot of help with the Cthulhu Invades Oz, Cthulhu Invades series as a proofreader, and I believe he's done a few stories as well. He was the original editor on my series Quicksand. He's also local to me in Brevard County, Florida as well. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Pete Rosette there. Okay, they've got it separated by which version.
Right. I think he's on the other one.
He's on the Cold Light of Day.
Right.
So, very cool. Something different.
Yep, something different.
And then the other anthology you're in, and actually next week we're going to be posting an interview with Tyler Chinchaner about this very anthology. But you're in Civil Disobedience.
Yeah.
What's your story in that all about?
So that one, my story is called Spark, and I loosely based it off of my time in the Army. When they approached me to be in this anthology, which I was honored to be asked to be a part of. I've been wanting to work with A Wave Blue World for a long time. I love everyone out that works for them, everything they've put out. I like meaningful anthologies. There's so many. If I'm going to invest my time in an anthology, I want it to be, something that matters. So they were telling me what they were looking for, and one of the reasons why I was approached was because I'm a prior service member. So my story, without giving too much away, is about a National Guard soldier who is tasked with if I'm stumbling, it's just because I'm not trying not to give too much away.
Yes.
He's
it's hard because it's probably like 8 pages story, so it's hard not to
exactly.
give too much away.
It's an 8-page story, so I'm not, but he's a mechanic for his local National Guard unit, and they want him to prep the vehicles ahead of a presidential motorcade that's going to be coming through town. So he takes it upon himself to use his skills as a mechanic to maybe delay the National Guard's attendance with that presidential motorcade in a very clever way. So it was fun to show a side of the military, because I think a lot of people assume if you're in the military or if you're a veteran that you're, you bleed red, white, and blue all the time, and you're okay with everything that your sitting president says, and you're just blindly following orders. And that's not always the case. We're not all, mindless robots. We do have our own opinions. We are individuals, even though they they beat it into your head in basic training to throw the individualism out the door right away, and you kind of have to do that to survive. But you slowly earn and gain back your individualism, and that's what matters, and that's what gives us, such a strong military in the world because of our individualism within a larger unit.
Yeah, it's something if you look at the history within our lifetime, at least, of military members and how they vote, it's usually not with the current
Right.
administration.
Right.
Not specifically talking about our current administration. Like I
Right.
can
Right.
even think back to when I was in high school and it was the George Bush era,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the biggest donation slash voting block for I'm zoning out his name now, but the third party candidate at the time was actually military, just because he was the only guy saying like, "Get us out of this war."
Right.
So yeah, and I know so many people that served over that time. That's like, yeah, of course, they're people. They all have their own ideas. Some of them went there for the bonus. Some of them went
Yep.
there to serve their country. You never know what
Exactly. Or
everybody has
both.
their own way in
Yeah.
life. Yeah,
Absolutely.
with this kind of anthology, and something I asked Tyler about it is it being so politically charged and kind of the moment. What was so important for you about telling the story you told inside of this book and being kind of a part of the idea of the book?
I think for me it was showing a non-violent way to protest, a nonviolent way to resist. I think that that's really important, especially in the days we live in right now, is to be smart about it. Not don't be so quick to chuck a Molotov cocktail, across the lines. How can you, uh, show your side and resist, but be intelligent about it, without getting people harmed. Because once you cross that line, you could have the best point in the world, and it's going to get lost once you step over that line.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what the cause is, once violence comes into the picture, your
Yeah.
whole ethos just goes out the window. Nobody wants to listen to anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's a great lesson to take from
Mm.
this. Would you? This is a tough one, but for somebody that maybe on the side of like, I don't want politics in my comics,
Mm.
would you say they could still get something out of this or enjoy at least your
Yeah.
story?
Absolutely. I mean, I think someone, a level-headed person that doesn't you know um uh make their whole life, center their whole life around their political beliefs.
Mhm.
They don't make it totally their identity. Can still enjoy this. This shouldn't be um, anything where you could tell right away that it's leans red or leans blue. I have experience with that with the Recount. And you've read it. It's
Yeah.
not there's nothing in there that says, this is pro, this side of the aisle or this side of the aisle. You can, the reader can make their own assumptions, but, that it really is supposed to be neutral. And I think that's the best way to, go about a story that you're trying to, you know, serve a purpose, is to not favor one side or the other.
Yeah, definitely. Is your story just the 8 pages? Because I know he added some other things in there with some short prose and some guidelines and things like that. Did he have you contribute anything in that realm as well?
Nope, just I saw some stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I didn't know about
Yeah,
that. No, I just have an 8-page story with Matthew Harding,
yeah.
who's fantastic creator. Um, I, I think he did a issue of Batman Brave and the Bold not too long ago, so that's pretty cool to be associated with him. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking to him and he said there's parts of it where he actually like implements uh pages where it says, hey, this is how you can go about protesting in a
Yeah.
positive way and blah blah blah. And the first thing in my head was like, did you make sure it's all legal? And he kind of looks at me and just goes, it's all like nothing. I'm not telling anyone to burn anything down. I was like, no, I get that. But
Yeah.
my brain just like, I would hate for the whole thing to be torn down over something you didn't think was a big deal and somebody
God.
took it the wrong way, you know?
You never know, though.
Yeah,
What?
I'd be calling lawyers left and right, but
Right.
I'm paranoid about that shit.
Yeah. You can never be too careful, but someone will find something, I'm sure.
Yes. So let's move over to some of the other stuff you got going on. One that I am a fan of, and I can't understand why it doesn't get attention, is Time Served. You're on issue 3 of that. I guess let's start with what's Time Served all about.
Yeah, the elevator pitch for Time Served is a serial killer named Nelson Jenkins, who goes by the name Nails because he nails his victims to the walls in uh, like a stigmatic way. Um, he is caught, found guilty, and sentenced to 600 years to life in prison. Somehow he survives those 600 years. And in the first issue, we see his how he got caught, his trial, and what kind of allows him to survive those 600 years. And then the cliffhanger is he's now in the future where none of his victims are even alive anymore. So he's served his time, but what's left of the world now that he's done that? Um, so it's a real unique story that I was hired to write by Brad Scott Studios, and artwork and everything else is from Cool as Heck, who does pencils, inks, colors, and lettering. So he's a one-stop shop artist. And yeah, we're doing issue 3, where you find out more about Nail's journey into the future, and he's still trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out how to break this curse because he's lived long enough. Now he wants to die at this point. He's not like stoked that he survived 600 years. He's like, all right, how do I break this curse? And he has to travel through the wasteland of what's left of the world to figure it out. So yeah, issue 3 is live. We've you can catch up with issue 1 and 2, physical and digital. And I actually earlier this year completed the writing issue 5. So I've seen the end of this story, but we might have something else afterwards, which is going to be pretty cool. But I think it's just a real unique story. Like if anyone ever were to adapt this into a movie, it would make like a really cool A24 bizarre, indie, not your typical formulaic movie or story or comic book. It's I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to make it, to write it. Brad's been very kind to kind of give me for being work for hire. He lets me take the reins more instead of kind of like being a backseat driver, like a lot of clients can be sometimes. So yeah, I'm not sure why it's not doesn't make more noise. I think maybe just the Brad's audience, is a smaller, tight knit group. Some things take a little longer to take off, unfortunately.
So he doesn't do any like direct market with it or anything. It's
Not
strictly
yet.
on.
I think he do believe he is going to plan on a trade paperback at some point, and would want to get that into the direct market somehow. And thankfully, there's actually more opportunities for that. With the Diamond Bust and everyone else coming out and offering, their services to kind of piggyback on. So someday,
Yeah.
so I got to get the other 2 issues out after issue 3, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'm just always fascinated with this one because I mean, first of all, it's one of the most consumer friendly
Yes.
comics on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I think the entire digital bundle right now is only $5, and I know for the first two issues he was doing like day one $1
Hmm.
to get your
Yeah.
copy, and that's unheard of in any,
Yeah.
whether it's direct market or Kickstarter. And I'm always
Brad
curious as
prides
how he's
his.
making money off.
Yeah, me too. As someone that wants to continue getting hired, I'm like, hey
Yeah,
man, I understand you need to make money to give me money. So, but he prides himself on those limited early bird rewards, and he only does like maybe one or two or three, and then they're gone to incentivize people to sign up for the on the pre-launch page, which makes sense,
yeah.
which is a great thing to do. Why more people don't, I don't know. I market it just as much as I would one of my own. So, eh.
Did he set you up with Cool as Heck or
Yeah. Yep.
okay?
Yep. Akul's local as well. He's not in Brevard County, but he's Florida. And I've seen him around before. We worked together at some in-store signings and cons and stuff like that. And he's a great guy. I mean, his real name is Jeff Kulisek, so that's where the cool as heck
Mm.
comes in. Um, but yeah, great guy. But he's a big fan of the George Perez Bronze Age type of artwork. So it's not that super clean anime looking look that we see a lot in mainstream comics, but it's still fun. I like it. It feels like a old school Vertigo comic book to me.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think you hit the nail on the head there because I love
Mm.
his art style, and he's also one of these artists where I stare at his pages, and I'm just like, do you just hate free time?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
some of the
yeah.
panels, I'm like, dude, there's
Mm.
so much going on, and I love it as a
Yeah,
consumer, but I
right.
just know him behind the scenes. Like
Yeah.
this one page spread that's on the Kickstarter right now that I think is Nails after he comes out of it might be the end of issue 1, but it's
Uh-huh.
him coming out into like the post-apocalyptic world and just
Right.
how he build or draws the buildings all destroyed and everything, the
Yeah.
piles of destroyed cars. It's like, dude.
When we first started working out together, I said, "Hey man, don't worry. I don't put a lot of panels on each page. I'm not going to ask you to cram a bunch of things in there." He goes, "Put as many panels as you want."
Yeah.
I said I can draw anything. I'm like, all right, because I like to keep things to 5 panels, 7, very rarely beyond 7, for pacing purposes
Yeah.
and also to let the art shine. But when an artist can actually put more into each panel, then you can adds more. It lets me know what else I can do, to each page.
Is it normal for you to have a book where you know who the artist is going to be as you're writing it?
For the most part, yeah. There's only been a few instances where I didn't know who the artist is going to be. So in that case, when I know who the artist is, and especially if I've worked with them before, I know what they can do. You know, um, and how many panels per page I should give them, um, how many splash pages to really give them, that guitar solo in the middle of the
Yeah.
song, if you will. And there's only been a few times where I wasn't sure or had no clue who the artist was going to be. And at that point, I just write the way I feel comfortable with, and
Hmm.
I keep to those, you know, the 5 to 7 panels per page, occasional splash page when the story needs it, 9 panels if I need to, if it's going to be talking heads or something like that. But yeah, most of the time I know who, especially if it's going to be a creator owned project that I'm going to do, I
Hmm.
already know who the artist is going to be or who I have in mind.
Yeah, because I have to assume that changes how you're gonna write
Oh,
the
yeah,
story.
big
And then
time.
seeing someone like Cool as Heck, where he just, like I said, just makes way too much work for himself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like I hopefully more people that are listening to this go out and check out the project, because even there's another panel here where you've got a woman in the story holding a gun, and he put like a camo pattern on it, but it's like a digital camo pattern.
Yeah.
And it looks simple, but I know how difficult it is to do
Right,
that.
right.
And then he has to do it like 3 pages down from a distance.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, dude.
And you know, the guy is, I don't want to get too personal for him, but you know, he's had his health issues lately, and you know, he'll bring his tablet with him to the doctor's waiting room, you know, and while he's waiting, he's drawing. So I mean, this guy is putting blood, sweat, and tears into this project, which is awesome. And on top of all his time served duty, we did a quick side project earlier this year for the upcoming the next volume of Always Punch Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
So him and I have are gonna have a 4-pager in that. So that's really cool. You know, he
Oh,
was able to do a 4-pager on the side. You know what? Because right now he's working on issue 4 of Time Served. So yeah, man, yeah, he's a beast.
it must be cathartic for him or something
I
if
think
he's.
so. I think it is. You know, I think it's his jam. You know, something to draw. You know,
It's yeah.
he doesn't complain about it.
Either that or he has the same problem we do, but
Probably that's it too. One or
so
both.
another one you got coming. This one is from Patrick Foreman. Is the
Yeah,
contract?
the contract. Yeah, that
This
one.
is another one you were hired for.
Nope. This is actually gonna be. This is a co-creator owned
Okay.
project. So Patrick and I have been working together for 3 years now, but nothing has come out yet that we've been working on. Um, but the contract will soon be coming out. And he approached me while we were working on something else. He's like, "Hey, have you ever wanted to do a not safe for work project?" And I'm like, "I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but you know, I don't have the finances for it." And he's like, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we, you know, be partners on it? You write it. I'll pay up front for it. We'll kickstart it, pay myself back, and then we'll split the profits after that." I'm like, let's give it a shot. There's nothing to lose with that. Um, so it's my first you know, first time dabbling in the not safe for work arena, but I didn't want it to just to be you know, porn cover mill, you know, project. It had to be, if it's going to be not safe for work, it had to be not safe for work for with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So the synopsis or the elevator pitch for the contract is there's this secret society who approaches people with an innocent survey, and that leads into asking them about their wildest fantasies. And at the end of that survey, they asked the person who took the survey, now, what would you say if I could offer you all those things and pay you for it? Make your wildest fantasies come true and pay you for it. All I have to do is sign this contract. So these fantasies could happen when you don't know it, after, you know, 3 months after you sign the contract, and you experience this thing that you weren't expecting. But our main character, Nikisha, has a vendetta against these people, and she's going into the contract to figure out who these people are. So it's like murder mystery type story. And you know, the not safe for work stuff plays a big part of it. It's part of the story.
So for those that may have an idea of what not safe for work means at
Hmm.
comics, like what does it mean to you to have not safe for work as a part of this book?
To me, it would be you know, anything, imagery and dialogue that you want to feel comfortable someone looking over your shoulder at work, you know, on your screen, on your phone holding, a comic book or a magazine in your hand. You wouldn't bring that type of stuff to work. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. It could also be, violent in nature. Um, I would say, some of the comic books I've come out with before, the violence and the how gruesome some of the headshots and the Recount and Spill Blood and Freak Show Night, the gore, is also not safe for work if you think about it. Um, so, but it mostly has a connotation now towards the sexual side of it, and that's where our story, for the most part, it plays into that arena.
It's interesting because I think we all, as a society community, have this idea that you say that your other books are also not safe for work based on the
Mm,
violence, but
mm,
and I've used myself because I'm guilty of this. I would happily read any of your books out in
right.
public, no issue.
Yeah.
But a not safe for work book, I would have like a tableau about it. Be like, I don't
Right.
know.
Right. And I guess it all depends where you work too.
Like,
Who your coworkers are, what you do for work, but that's just like the term that's been, that's evolved with that stuff. So,
and I think it's been co-opted with kind of
mm,
softcore porn almost
right.
is what people think of when they think of not safe for work.
Yeah. Ours is
Yeah.
much more than softcore. I would tell you that
Oh,
it's not strategic hiding knees. It's you see everything. So, like I said, I wasn't gonna go into this, dipping my toes into it. I dove into the deep end. I'm not. I didn't want to just kind of like, you know, shimmy my way into it. I was going to be all in or not at all.
what was your concern level going into this with what happened recently with Kickstarter and the idea of porn and not safe for work?
Well, I had already wrote issue 1 and 2 before that whole Kickstarter fiasco came out, and Patrick and I were already concerned about from what we saw, other creators get Stripe canceling their stuff right after their campaign was over. So we were already, thinking, can we do? We were already prepping for that stuff. Like, what can we do to avoid that as much as possible? And then that hit. So our, double checks turned into triple and quadruple checks. So hopefully we've done our due diligence, but, I guess you can never be too safe, but, just we still haven't sent it for review yet, so we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, we're taking the precautions to make sure we get everything out of it. We've studied other people's campaigns that do similar projects routinely, and kind of, I want to say, modeling ours after that, but taking the good, taking the bad, and hoping that we get it right.
Yeah, talking with a lot of creators and people who do behind the scenes Kickstarter stuff, people like Blake Morgan, that someone we
Mhm.
both know. It's it seems like censoring your page is the way to go. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you feel about
Yeah,
that. Um and it's even going as far as violence now. Like they're even checking people on violence. So it's a
yeah,
weird time for everything.
it really is. Yeah.
Do,
What were you gonna say?
I was just asked, do you have any, because I see that you did censor, or at least Patrick censored the
Yeah.
hot
Mm,
I'm guessing the nude covers.
right.
Is there any worry there that the people who prefer those nude covers
Mm,
might, like, they don't exactly know what they're getting, even though I'm pretty
yeah.
sure it's a nude version of the main cover you show here?
Yeah. Yeah. There is a concern, but I think we're gonna offer people who want to see it beforehand. They can reach out to us. We can email it to them, send it private messages. I know what Bad Bug does is they just show it on their. They have a Discord
Mhm.
server, and they'll just they'll post. If you want to see it, join our Discord, which is a great idea. Grow your audience that way. I don't think we're where we need to be to justify having a Discord server. But yeah, there's ways around it that we can still show um, potential backers, what they'll be getting without posting it on, blatantly publicly online.
Yeah,
So
a little creative thinking. Just one's
yeah,
gonna take.
yeah, you gotta go out, get out of the box all the time with comics. Never
Just in
fails.
life, man. There's always
Yeah,
there's always something you got to go
jeez.
around.
Yep.
So for someone like myself,
Hmm.
Jonathan, that does not care for not safe for work books, that
Hmm.
doesn't dabble in that world too
Hmm.
much,
Yeah.
um, what would you say to me to get me
Hmm.
to check out this book?
I would say, if that's not your cup of tea, and you already know that, then that's fine.
Hmm.
I'm not one to twist anyone's arm to read something. I know what I like, and every now and then I will step out of my comfort zone and try, a movie that I don't think I would like, a genre of music, a book, and just food, but I'm not going to constantly test the waters, or
Hmm.
I'll constantly disappoint myself. So if you feel squirrely and it's been a while since or maybe have you never tried that type of stuff? Have you only seen covers? So do you?
I've tried a few.
If you tried a few and it's not also take in consideration my credentials, the stuff that I've done in the past,
Hmm.
my work, and if that's something that you would want to maybe even just try the basic digital for without going all in on the physical, that'd be awesome. But if not, don't feel obligated. That's what I say.
That's actually that's good advice, because I think when I tried one. I think Frank Martin did one years ago, and
Mm,
then I tried Pat Shan's one of
mm,
his books, a few of his books actually, and
yeah.
I think the mistake I made was getting physical,
Oh yeah.
because now
Yeah.
I have those books lying
Right. Right.
around. So yeah, that's kind of great advice. I usually give out to people with any Kickstarter, like even on issue one, try the digital and say, hey, let's see it,
Yeah.
because more than likely, if you really love it and you want the physical, it'll be there for issue two.
Right.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, test the waters every now and then. That's all I tell people. But I'm not the pushy used car salesman. You'll never get that out of me.
Yeah.
That's me at every con. I just tell people, hey, if you're interested, let me know. I'm not gonna waste your time or my breath trying to sell you if you're not.
Yeah, I'm similar in that way. Like, there's plenty of things throughout my life that if you didn't take that chance, comics included, I mean, if
Yep.
you didn't take that chance, you wouldn't have fallen
You
in
never
love, or
know.
you wouldn't have enjoyed the thing. So,
Exactly.
great advice.
Yep.
I think, I mean, I want to say the big one, but I think they're all big in their own way. But the one that's coming soon from you and your Kickstarter page is Brackish.
Yes.
You're doing issue two now.
Right.
Um, Give kind of the quick pitch on Brackish for people.
So Brackish is about these two families who have a long history with each other, feuding in the Florida swamps. Um, Hundreds of years ago, for generations, they were at each other's throat over the land. Um, about 100 years ago, they called a truce, and everyone kept to their side of the swamp. But fast forward to modern times, and the son of one family and the daughter of the other uh, happen to meet each other, and that's going to cause a rip in that truce, and things are going to get violent very fast. So my elevator pitch is always a modern day Romeo and Juliet, but I'm not trying to pay homage or anything to William Shakespeare, as the Leonardo DiCaprio movie did. This is just something. It's similar to that, but also something else entirely. And it's issue two, which I'm thrilled to finally be getting out, because I feel issue one had a stumbled. That didn't really come out the way I would have liked it to come out. So it's I'm putting it out underneath my account, underneath my um, imprint, and book's already done. We're just raising funds to go to print and fulfill. And if there's anything left over, we're gonna funnel that into issue 3, which is already inked. We just need that one colored and lettered. So I'm hoping this will build momentum to start getting Brackish out on a regular basis. Hopefully, 2 issues, if not more, per year. After this one.
You didn't publish the first issue?
No, that one was through Metal Ninja Studios. I partnered with them, and it is what it is, you know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't make any money off that campaign, and just wasn't happy with it. Despite how much money it raised, how much I paid to produce it, and I'm gonna, sometimes you got to do it yourself, do things yourself.
Yeah.
Not trying to diss anyone. Just sometimes things don't work out. Just, not everyone has to be business partners. So
Yeah. I was just thinking because I couldn't find the first Kickstarter, and I was trying to remember because it feels like it's been a while.
yeah, it was
Um,
2024. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, a
okay,
little
so it
over two
has
years
been a
ago.
while, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're one of the creators that when you go on Kickstarter, I'm thinking of Capable in particular,
Mm,
like you're pretty consistent with
yeah.
keeping them and kind of sticking the landing on them.
Right. Thank
So
you.
I was curious
Yeah.
that that happened. But now that it's with you, do you have you have the rights to the first issue?
Yep. So I'm gonna re-release the first issue as well, but it's gonna be, I'm calling it a remastered version. It's been relettered by my buddy Leo McGovern, who's been my letterer consistently for the past few years now on Atticus and the Magical Pillow Fort, Spill Blood, Can I Scream, Hospice Tunnel of Love, the project we were talking about in the green room.
Hmm.
He did that one too. So he relettered that one, and we're making it a deluxe issue too. So if you just want issue 1, we're calling it the Test the Waters tier. You can get that one. It's remastered, and it's got bonus material in it and a short preview of issue 2. So it's going to be a deluxe issue 1 available. By itself in this campaign. And you can also, of course, get that copy of issue 1 and the new issue, or just issue 2 by itself.
And who'd you team up with for the art in this one?
The interior artwork is by Riccardo Facchini. Um, he's some projects he's done. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did a Star Wars book or 2 for IDW Marvel. Um, he's also done some stuff at Scout. Um, he's done some stuff with Pesto Comics, a book called Snip. And just a few other things. He's an Italian artist, great guy. The colorist is Ixon Ansari. He's also the colorist on Atticus and the Magical Pillow Fort. And again, the letterer is Leo McGovern. Now we have
Okay.
a variant cover from Fellhound, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
And I'm going to be announcing the third and final variant cover probably in about by the end of this month, prior to going live next month. Um, another fantastic artist, um, and I want to make this, this. I'm kind of considering this a relaunch, even though it's issue 2. So I'm coming out, swinging. It's already been approved for Kickstarter's Kiss and Tell call, which is their in July. How they do Witch Starter, and they do um, Make 100. This is going to be one of their other programs like that, so it'll help give it some even more exposure, and you know try to get back on the right foot.
Oh, cool. So you'll probably get like a launch page
Yeah,
intro for it too.
exactly. Yeah, hopefully get some more exposure, some more eyes on this project to really get the proper relaunch.
Yeah, as I was looking through the second issue, like Ricardo's art looks so familiar to me.
Mhm.
And yeah, he did do Star Wars Hyperspace Stories issues,
That's what it
which
was.
is
Yeah.
a big one. But also he did um a bunch of books for Pesto Comics,
Yep.
which I just had the guy on like a few months ago, talk to him. And then he did Dog Days with our friend Travis Gibb. So
Dog Days. That's what it was.
yes,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's done some cool,
Mm.
and he has a Mad Cave book from last year. So yeah,
Oh
that guy's
yeah.
been around.
Yep. Yeah. He gets work. Mm.
I see too that you're kind of all in with global comics with Brackish as well. Is the entirety of issue 1 free on there for
Yep.
people?
Yep. Read it now. Yep. Include it. It's the deluxe edition, the deluxe remastered, including the preview. So if you don't want to you know, if you're not sure about it, read it for free right now on Global Comics.
I always tell people I do this for the free comics. So now I get to push free comics onto other people.
Yeah.
There you go, everybody.
Yep. Yep.
What's what's your hope with Brackish? Is it like a 5-issue series? Like kind of what's the future for it?
I would love to do something longer than 5 issues. The I don't see the first 5 issues ending the complete story. It's gonna, have its own conclusion, but I would like it to go way beyond 5 issues. But I also know how indie comics are, and I don't want
Mhm.
to pull the cart in front of the horse either. But I would love it if it could be something I could just continuously do casually and just tell more about the story. I have 2 volumes mapped out in my head. It just depends on how quickly I can get them out. I'm not being forced to produce them to meet some direct market deadline, so why not? Just need to get ahead of the funding so I can get them out regularly, but definitely beyond 5 issues, but most likely told in 5 issue arcs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you spent some time in Italy. I
Mhm.
think that was public knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And I know you've worked with a lot of Italian artists, and I
Right.
see you posting a little bit about trying to learn Italian and everything.
Yeah.
How has your time in Italy helped with your back and forth with your artists?
Well, in Italy, the culture is a lot different. And when it comes to productivity, there's in America, we're very like task driven. You know,
Hmm.
um, I think we're like as kids, they cram that 8 to 5 Monday through Friday weekends off mentality into us pretty fast.
Hmm.
And in Italy, it's more lackadaisical and I mean that in the most polite way. Um, it's you know, don't rush, we'll get it done, type mentality, and that's hard for me to adapt to, you know,
Hmm.
um, especially as a writer when you're like constantly waiting for something, you're the project manager. So I guess if it's helped me in any way with my artists, it's to teach me patience. But how much have I learned? And how much am I exercising? I don't know. It's tough, man. That's not an easy characteristic to switch over, you know?
Yeah. Listen, 1% is growth, and
Yeah.
1% over a year,
Yeah.
if you're doing it every day, that's 300 something percent. So
Right. Exactly.
you just got to take it day by day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like actually living in their circumstances would be really interesting to kind of see, okay, this is what they're actually dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
it really is a whole nother world when you leave the United States. So,
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, it did open up my eyes to what we have here,
mhm,
and to be more grateful for what we have here. Do we have our problems? Absolutely. Do they have
yeah.
their problems? Absolutely. But man, I mean, I'm so grateful to that. If I need to go to the grocery store after 5 p.m., I can probably still go to the grocery store. It's not closed because it's another saint's birthday holiday, or uh, if I go to some place at 11 o'clock, they're still open and they haven't shut down for 3 hours for a lunch break. We usually have someone covering people's shifts. Things like that I'm grateful
Yeah.
for. It's
That's
silly, but we're spoiled. We're spoiled here. They're spoiled over there in their own way too. So,
yeah. My day job, you don't get like federal holidays off, and
oh yeah,
we just celebrated Juneteenth, and
okay,
I completely forgot that. Like I knew it was coming, but I
yeah,
forgot that it was like a real holiday.
yeah,
So I go to the bank and I just got so mad because I'm like, of course it's
yeah.
closed.
Of course,
But it's like, yeah, it's that American mentality of like, well, I can go tomorrow, but it's an inconvenience. What the hell?
yeah,
But I got
yeah.
over it and I went the next day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we got our options. Sometimes it's good to have that pause.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's everything that's going on right now.
Mm,
As people are listening to this, and this will launch Friday, is
mhm.
hospice still in late pledges?
Still in late pledges. I'm gonna keep that late pledge open as long as possible. Probably down to when I put in the print order. It's probably when I'll probably close off late pledges. So there's still time, but you're cutting your windows narrowing fast. So please still we're only like $74 away from hitting our $10,000 stretch goal, and this is already my highest dollar funded campaign ever. I don't want to be
Awesome.
too greedy, but it would be awesome if I could hit 5 figures. Um, if not, I'll have to do it the next campaign. That's fine. But with
Yeah.
only being like $76 away, and that stretch goal reward, if we unlock that, is anyone who wants it gets a free paid 1 year subscription to my Substack, which gives you access to the archive, which is a ton of comic books to read for free, a lot of audio voiceover things that I read. Like I narrated the entire Recount series. So
Mhm.
if you want to hear my terrible voice acting skills, including sound effects, you'll be able to access that. And anything that may happen throughout that year that's will only be available for paid subscribers. And it's a $60 value that you would get for free. So hopefully we get one person that wants to hit that a higher price pledge tier, but I don't want to get too greedy. But yeah, if you're
No,
if
it's
you're listening
cool.
to this, get in that late pledge. We're going to be sending out digital rewards very soon, so you're not going to be waiting too much longer on getting those rewards.
Have late pledges been good for you on the campaign or the
Yeah,
Kickstarter?
yep. If people aren't doing late pledges, I guess the only reason to not do late pledges is if you're fulfilling super fast. But like,
Mhm.
set it up anyways. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if there's going to be a delay in printing for some reason, or if you have to reprint for some reason. Keep that up. I mean, I've been using it and have gotten late pledges every single time. And this last particular campaign, I got over $2,000 worth of late pledges. So I'm so glad I did it. That was huge.
Wow.
So, and another thing, since I'm on a soapbox about Kickstarter, people, creators, fill up your add-ons, please. Come on, man. You gotta, all your previous stuff that you have in inventory, your previous digital stuff, put that stuff on there. They make it so easy for you to import your add-ons from previous campaigns. So do it, why not?
Yeah.
That's my
It's
soapbox.
it's like the creators that don't put digital comics on. I'm like, so you
Yeah.
hate free money? Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to produce anything. It's a link. Come on, man. The Kickstarters are like the only place I make any money on my digitals. I can't sell a digital comic to save my life outside of a Kickstarter,
Yeah.
other than the microscopic, fractions of a penny I get per page view from Global Comics. And to 3-4 years with them, I haven't even cracked $100 worth of stuff. Um, I can only sell digitals during Kickstarter, so why not?
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So we're going through everything that's going on right now.
Hmm.
I know it's been a long interview, but let's take a
No, it's okay.
second about the future.
Yeah.
Because I know you got Atticus, the Magic Pillow Fort, and
Mm-hmm.
Capable. Are those series continuing?
Capable's done, but I'm in the process of putting on a collected edition. It's just it's been a lot of one step forward, two steps back, mainly just because I there's a specific cover artist I want, and getting the um the money to pay for that artist. Something an emergency always comes up once I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's been the obstacle for getting a trade for Capable out. Atticus, there's more coming for that. It's just a little slow. We didn't raise enough to funnel into issue 2. So issue 2 is going to have to be, I'm going to have to front the money, or at least the first, several quarter, half of that project, enough to get it crowdfunded. But that's definitely going to be a 5-issue series that I want to put out. But I do have Atticus news. If you're listening to this Friday, it might be a little bit too late, but there's going to be an exclusive cover available for Atticus and the Magical Pillow Fort that you should be able to get this weekend on Whatnot or eBay Live. So watch my socials. You'll find out more about it. But I just saw the cover today and I'm super stoked about it that someone reached out and wanted to do an Atticus and the Magical Pillow Fort store exclusive cover way after, it's not even a direct market book. The
Mm-hmm.
campaign has been over and fulfilled, but they wanted to do it. I'm like, absolutely. And it's so cool. It made my heart so happy. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Doing a little limited run of that.
Yep. Yep.
Very nice.
That's going to be really cool.
And then another thing that through the years I've noticed you've always kind of thrown in there here and there. Any future with your one shots? Like I know you did Caffeinated Hearts, you did Spill
Mm-hmm.
Blood. I think Footpath was a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's kind of the future there? And then you did one with your wife recently through Keen Spot.
Yep. Can I Scream?
Can I Scream? Yes.
Yeah. I would love to do like a collection of the one shots. It's definitely something I've rolled through my mind. And do like a Kickstarter for it. It all comes down to needing a few of the rights back completely for a few of them, like Spill Blood and Can I Scream are still attached to Keen Spot.
Mhm.
But I just have Freak Show Princess, Freak Show Night, Caffeinated Hearts, Hyper Aware. There would be enough to make a good 200 plus, hardcover collected edition. So that's something I'm definitely brainstorming about. How soon that's going to happen, I don't know. And also, I do want to expand upon Spill Blood more. So I'm not sure if I would roll that in there because I did write a second issue to Spill Blood.
Yes.
Um, there was some fumbling with that one on the artwork side, so I've had to shelve that one, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go with another artist because the artist is a co-owns that one with me. So I don't know if I can get him to just release himself from it and me find another artist, or if approaching him with that question will light some fires to have him do it.
Yeah.
but it's such what a waste of potential because that book is awesome, and
Yeah.
I would love to get. I had big plans for that one to do at least a a, a 3-issue miniseries told in a one shot manner, just to feel like a kind of Quentin Tarantino grindhouse style volume of stories that just told in those vignette type styles. But we'll see.
And then
Yeah,
I can't let you leave without hounding you about the Recount. So
I
you
know.
recently got the rights back to the Recount, and I know you
Mm.
published it through your Substack, I believe
Yep.
for free for everybody.
For free. And now they're all archived. All my posts on Substack archive after 4 weeks. So that paid subscription, the
There you
stretch goal
go.
reward. Uh,
Do you see any future for that book now that you have the rights back?
yeah, for sure. First step is getting out my own deluxe hardcover edition, which has been in the works for a while. but that had to be shelved. I have the cover for it. I paid the cover a long time ago. The only thing stopping it now is getting it designed, which is going to cost some money,
Mhm.
and then running the campaign for it. And I want to be here in the States to fulfill it. I want to hand fulfill that one. I don't want to outsource the fulfillment for that one. So the timing is, important to get all those ducks in a row, the design, the Kickstarter, being here to fulfill it. But that is step one. Hopefully that will put some money aside to flood into volume 2, which, there's already scripts done for that one and some artwork. I spoke to the artist because it's a new artist for volume 2, which is called Second Term. And I reached out to him and said, hey, I gave him a green light to actually do more pages. And he's like,
Mhm.
well, I would really actually like to redo those, the pages I already done. I'm like, and he's, got a good gig right now at IDW. So I'm like, and so it's always something, man. But
Yeah.
that's after the hardcover needs to come out. So then I want to make a nice deluxe hardcover that includes the preamble, leading into the ash can and the 4 issues, some extra stuff, probably put in a tease for volume 2 in it, make it a nice, thick hardcover, collectible edition, limited, not something that's going to be overprinted, and, funnel that into volume 2, which would most likely, unless a publisher wants to back up a dump truck full of money and pay me to do it. The only other option is for me to do it, one issue at a time through crowdfunding until something better comes along.
No, I love the idea of doing a deluxe for that because there
Yeah.
was a soft cover trade paperback when it was with Scout.
Yep.
So there is kind of an affordable option out there for people. And now
Yep.
it's time to people like me that want that deluxe hardcover.
Right. Yeah. And I want to make it for the fans, the people that have already who love the Recount. It's not
Yeah.
sure. Do we find more fans with it? Absolutely. But, it's for them. I want to, book plates, signed book plates, numbering it, something super unique, um, I was pricing things up. The sewn in ribbon for the, bookmark. I wanted to be really classy. So in time,
Very nice.
hopefully we get closer to it before my next interview with you.
Oh, I'll just do with you what I did to David Pepos, and I'll just keep hounding you until you finally do it.
About you bugged him about the Oz.
Yeah, the OZ.
Yeah.
3 years in a row of me just bugging him. He finally did it.
It worked, man. It worked.
Yeah, I can be annoying. It's great. But another reason for everybody to check out Brackish, because then not only do you get two awesome issues of comic, but you'll know when the Recount hardcover is coming out, because I'm sure it'll be a update down the line.
Yep. Stay tuned.
So Jonathan, it's like I said, I think we got through half of what you're doing right now, but
I think so.
there's also another project we can't talk about, so everybody check the show notes down below for that one. But anything else you want to say before we kind of sign off for everything?
And just follow me on the socials. If you're not sure which one to go to, my website is jonathanhedrickcomics.com. You'll find links to everything there. My links to my socials, how to sign up on my newsletter, links to buy my comics that are at other publishers like Dream Master and Can I Scream, Spill Blood, projects I can't talk about. All that information is on my website, jonathanhedrickcomics.com.
And for everybody out there watching, listening, check out the show notes down below, because I'll have a link to the Brackish and the the contract? Yes, the contract. Yeah. I'll have a link to those Kickstarters so you can hit the notify button and be aware when they're live on Kickstarter. And then I think what I'll do is I'll put Jonathan's link tree on there as well, because he does an amazing job putting everything right in that link tree for me.
You.
So it saves me a bunch of work.
I'm proud of that link tree too. That's I maintain that. I go back routinely to make sure the links still work, reorganize it, touch it up.
It's a hefty link tree, so
It
I'll give you
is.
credit there.
Yeah, thank you.
But then I'll also add his social medias down below, so you can find him, whether you're like me and you're on everything, or you have your specific social media. You'll see those links down below as well. So,
Yep.
Jonathan, as always, it's a pleasure, man. And
thanks, Chris.
best of luck with all the campaigns you got going on.
Thank you so much.